This is entitled Solace for October 7th from Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai. And it's based on Aggadeta from the Talmud and Midrash Rabban. So I have to admit, I'm seeking comfort from the collective trauma we've all gone through. And it's true that living in Israel, you are really uplifted by the tremendous outpouring of support. People are helping the soldiers and helping the displaced families in every which way. And of course, all of us are praying for, and we're studying Torah for the safe return of the soldiers and the safe return, of course, of our hostages. And the same is true with every community in the world. There's tremendous unity going on, and you can't help but look at this and think, Mi Kamcha Yisrael, which literally means, it's actually addressed to God and saying, God, who is like your nation Israel. So while this does provide comfort, it doesn't completely alleviate the pain, especially the fact that the atrocities were at such a tremendous scale that seems eerily familiar, almost like it's a dark side of our destiny. So I turn to an Aggadeta from the Talmud, and there is a story of a woman who is picking up half-digested kernels of grain from the dung of animals. This takes place after the destruction of the Second Temple. And as the scene opens, Rabbi Yochanan, the famous Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, is walking with the students, and this woman sees him, and she is sort of embarrassed, and she yells to him, please help me, please support me. And he says, who are you? Who are you, my daughter? And she introduces herself as the daughter of a well-known man who is one of the richest Jews in Jerusalem. And he, in fact, acknowledges that he went to her wedding and that she had an astounding sum that was in her dowry, because not only did she come from a wealthy family, she married into wealth. And he asks her, what happened to all your father's money? So you need a little help here from the Marsha, the commentary on the Talmud, who says he wasn't asking about what happened to the bulk of the money, because obviously nobody survived with their wealth intact after the destruction of the temple. And in fact, in the case of her father and the other wealthy people, they converted their money into different items that the Jewish community needs, grain and wood for burning, coal and things like that. And a lot of this was destroyed by the zealots, by the biryonim. So he was actually asking, well, wasn't there any other money? I mean, is this the way you have to subsist? Was there any other money in the family, anything else that you could have used? And she gives a very amazing answer. There's actually two opinions of what exactly she said, but she either said that my father gave a lot of charity, but not enough charity considering how wealthy he was, or he didn't always give charity from the heart for the best of reasons. So basically she was saying that there is divine justice in the world, and I accept my fate. I accept my tremendous reversal of fortunes. And this, of course, is interesting because there's another story in the Talmud of a woman who also was very wealthy, and because no food was available at the time of the siege, she went out herself to look, and she accidentally stepped in dung and was so abhorred by what happened, she died. So of course you see the difference here. This woman was able to cope with her situation, make the best of it, because she saw divine justice in what happened. So how did Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai react? He cried. And he said, Ashrechem Yisrael, how fortunate are you, the Jewish people. Now, you might say, well, he cried because this reminded him of the human toll of the destruction of the temple. And he cried in sadness and said this. But I'd like to believe that although that might be true, it's also true that what he said of Ashrechem Yisrael was said from joy. Because as I said, he looked at this person who accepted their fate and found it so comforting and so astounding that she could go on in these circumstances. The events of October 7th happened for a reason. We don't know the reason, but it seems from this outpouring of support and unity that we are accepting the justice of God. Just like that woman who was picking half-digested grains from the dung of animals. We are seeing everything from Israeli soldiers asking for tzitzit and tefillin, to American Jews who were very far from their heritage, and now they are mugged by reality and are coming back to rediscover their Jewish roots. For me, seeing this translates into Jews, by and large, accepting God's justice in the face of unspeakable horror. And that truly gives me solace. Mi kamcha Yisrael, who is like your people Israel.